Hello, my friends, and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. As I said many times, patience is a virtue, and just give it time. Things will settle, and then the truth eventually will show up. Unfortunately, sometimes the truth shows up after the deal is done, so you can't change what has been done already. I'm talking about the NordStream 2 pipelines. Yes, those pipelines that the West would rather like to forget about, and they would like us to forget about it, but we won't. You know why? Because we shouldn't, because that was a terrorist act. And the terrorist act most likely was conducted by Western interests. Do I have any evidence to provide that? The evidence is I don't want to play full retard. That's the evidence. I give it to you. But little by little, they're going to come back to where things seem more credible or logical. So, they named the main suspect. Who do you think the main suspect is? The mastermind. They say now that is Mr. Zaluzny, the Ukrainian general. He's Ukrainian, one of the few guys in charge of Ukraine who really is Ukrainian. The guy who was exiled, put off, a deadline over their dead end in London, waiting to be reactivated whenever they need to replace Zelensky Stein, the real Ukrainian. So they claim now that the German investigators named Zaluzny as the mastermind, the prime suspect. And the Russians claim, he could have been, but Ukraine lacked and still lacks the ability to conduct such an operation of blowing up such a pipeline underneath so deep and so on. It needs certain kind of submarines and so on to plant those explosives. And guess who the Russians claim to be? They claim it's the Brits. Not the Americans, the Brits. Now, if that would be true, that means Great Britain is held like this by the little tingy-lingy by the Americans. That means the Americans categorically know about it. That means they can blackmail the Brits at every turn. Britain will do everything, not that it doesn't, but anyway, will do it moreover, everything what the Americans are telling them. Why? Imagine the Americans come and say, whoa, it was the Brits who did it, and that's an act of terrorism, which I think it is. So what do you think will happen? Not much, but if you want to use that to make a point and to have the Brits vote in a certain way, you do that. Now, let me show you two articles here. The first one, when I look at it, when I saw it, it was today at Google. Let me put my goggles. At 6:18 a.m. Let me show you, because this is what happens. They come with a title, and I always take screenshots. So I keep the receipts and look further. So see, this is the title. It is at today, right on top of right over there. Today at 6:18 a.m. on the 8th of September 2025, German investigators name chief suspect in the NordStream attack, and then media. All right, this is Zaluzny, and I would like you to look at that, and then look at this. Klapa-tsapa. German investigators named Zelensky's rival as NordStream sabotage mastermind, and the other one was just chief suspect. Doesn't really matter. Do you think that the so-called yacht 6+1, those 6 guys ramming that woman on that yacht, supposedly the guy who was detained in Italy, the Ukrainian guy, they blew up Nord Stream. I gave that 0.3.9 percent. That's what I give. 0.3.9. That's how much I give to that scenario, to that hypothesis. Remember, when you go and investigate something, you put down alternative hypothesis. So you have an allegation or whatever you got, accusation. You put hypothesis when you investigate. I don't know, who could have been? The grandmother? Come on, it's outrageous. You put it there if you think the grandmother could have done it. Oh, this and that, the cattle did it. Or the chicken did it. You put it over there. And then you go and investigate. But you come with you start usually, right, with a prime theory, with a prime, how do you call it, alternative, with a prime hypothesis. You start with the big one, and the big one I think is the United States of America. The big one, by far, with the Brits, or together. These are the main ones. So you start with them. No, they give us the 6+1 yachting and that woman on the yacht. I don't believe that, as I said. So let's read this new revelation. Why don't you go and listen to Iron Maiden's song Revelation? Revelation! Bruce Dickinson, mind you. All right, let's go. Russia Today. German investigators named Zelensky's rival as NordStream sabotage mastermind. So this could destroy this guy's political career, or could be a trampoline, could make it, oh my god, this is our hero. Ex-Ukrainian commander-in-chief Valery Zaluzhny is reportedly building a campaign team from London to run for president. See, the Russians are not stupid. They know exactly what's going on here, why the Germans named this guy. That means we're gonna either use you as a trampoline or a dead weight around your ankle and throw you in the lake. Former Ukrainian commander-in-chief Valery Zaluzhny commissioned the sabotage of the Nord Stream pipelines in 2022. German newspaper Die Welt, the World, reported on Monday, citing an investigator familiar with the matter. What do you mean? I thought that in the West, truth is right there. That's why we are better than the other ones. Tyrannies, remember? Because we tell the truth, man. Everything here is beautiful. Freedom and so on. The right to know. Blah, 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 blah. So you have an investigator to hey, Leute, I think it was Zaluzhny. Okay, all right. Why don't you come and say, hey, my name is Fritz. And Fritz as a Fritz, I tell you it was Zaluzhny. God damn it. All right, now everybody go home. Work, go and do to work. All right, according to newspaper, German investigators believe, oh my god, when I hear the word believe, they have cracked the case of the attacks of Nord Stream 1 and 2, which run under Baltic Sea and were built to carry Russian natural gas directly to Deutschland über niemals. Previously, Western media reports claimed that the authorities allegedly knew the identities of the entire crew, reportedly made up to Ukrainian nationals, blah, 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 aboard the yacht Andromeda. Look at this, man. We talk about now the constellations and shit, which is suspected of being the vessel involved in the sabotage. No, yet it's not. Die Welt noted that they were acting on orders from Zaluzhny, who was dismissed from his post in February 2024 and appointed Ukrainian ambassador to the UK. Dead end right there. Alright, earlier reporting, the Spiegel in September 2024 also claimed that Zaluzhny greenlit the attack, while a later article by Der Spiegel suggested that the general was so impressed by the operation that he wanted to expand it to target Russia's Turk Stream pipeline in the Black Sea. Although the effort was thwarted, Zaluzhny has denied having any role in sabotage. So did Zelensky. According to Die Welt, however, some experts remain skeptical of the alleged Ukrainian role, me too, saying the saboteurs were behaving too conspicuously. All nonsense, unofficial, what's his name? Fritz? What the hell? An official familiar with the investigation said, as cited by the paper. He also accused those who suspect Russia or the US of being behind the attack of believing in conspiracy theories. Fuck off. In contrast, a senior aide, the Russian president Nikolay Patrushev, claimed the sabotage could not have been executed without Western commandos singling out Britain as the likely culprit and arguing that Ukrainians lack the necessary expertise. Putin previously suggested that US intelligence agencies under President Biden's orchestrated the sabotage, so they don't know, huh? And this is the second article right here. Elite UK divers likely, I don't like likely, it is or it's not, behind Nord Stream sabotage, Putin aide. Ukraine lacked the expertise to bomb the Baltic Sea pipelines, Nikolay Patrushev has said, and I agree with that, if you know anything about anything. The sabotage could not have been carried out without Western commandos, has claimed, singling out Britain as the likely culprit. All right, so again, an article, Patrushev argued that Ukraine lacked the expertise to carry out this complex operation independently. The sabotage was likely, and I'm quoting, planned, overseen, and executed with the involvement of highly trained NATO special forces, Patrushev wrote, adding that the perpetrators were experienced in deep-sea operations and familiar with working in the Baltic. Yeah, and I'm quoting, few armies or intelligence services have divers capable of executing such an operation correctly and above all covertly. One unit with the necessary skill is the British Special Boat Service. He said, founded during the World War II, the SBS, thank you very much. All right, in the Royal Navy's elite squad specializing in amphibious warfare. Russia has criticized Trabalaba Kupulapa. I am 100% certain, I mean, must be, right? Certain that the administrations in, I would give you at least 20 countries, maybe not 20. Let me make a calculation. 10. At least around 10 countries in Europe and United States of America being included, and Israel, of course, know who exactly did it. The Russians do not know, but I think the Americans know. I mean, the perpetrators obviously know. This was not a Tom Jones with Elvis singing in a hotel room in International Hotel in Las Vegas in the night with Ladies of the Night. That's not what it occurred, okay? These were not like baboons doing shit. These were, I think, how should I put it, governmental institutions. There were special operations where states were organizing it. Not, as I said, Al Capone with his buddies in East Chicago or something. Those were amateurs, not those. Not Zaluzny with 3 Ukrainians. No, it was not like that. So it was a state-organized, I think, terrorist act. And I'm pretty sure the Americans know, the Brits know, the Germans know. The ones who could have been included with the Denmark, the other ones could be the Norwegians, the Israelis 100%. They know everything. I mean, you know what I mean. If you don't know what I mean, I saw it right there, at least 6 countries. Now, if these guys know, the Russians should know as well, because they are listening to these guys. They all listen to one another, like the moon landing. They just keep their mouth shut. Why they keep their mouth shut? Probably to use it as leverage. Because if the Russians come and say, "Oh, you did it," these guys, there's gonna be like, this is the West media. Bang, bang. Oh, you did this is the Russian information. Bang, bang. The Western media will form a block that is gonna be diverting it or blocking it. That means not reporting it, all right? Or maybe just incorporated it and then do it, you know how you do it. You take the block and bam. If someone punches, you don't have to block it like, I'm going to block it right here. Boom. You just take it and then like in Aikido, and then you control the energy and then whoops, you go the other way. So this is the Western media. Those are smart people over there. They're not going to be like blocking it. Puck right there. Or just sotoke. Boom. It's not going to be that. I'm taking right here and send you to mommy. And everybody's going to forget about it in 3 minutes. The same with the NordStream. These guys, shh, keep it quiet. CNN, MSNBC, Reuters, Agence France Presse, Associated Press, BBC. Have you heard them? No, just the Germans, a few things. So I think it was the Brits, the Americans, the Norwegians, with the cooperation of the Swedes, I forgot about them, and the Danish. The guys from Denmark, to be more precise, and 1 or more 2 states just to, hey, we're gonna blow it. Okay, but it doesn't work that way. But you know, when someone has to say something, you smack them around, boom, boom, and you say, hey, remember then? You owe me. It was not the Russians. It was not the Ukrainians. I can, snip my things for that. Those things. Could have been Ukrainian military trained in Great Britain? I don't think so. It was too early. I don't think so. It was probably the Brits or the Americans. Thank you very much for being with me again today. But hey, as I said, patience. The truth will come up. Hey, are you coming? I'm on my way. Hurry up, mofo. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just.